Most of my daily life is like getting into cars and showing up to a set, or I just like, if I'm off, I just either hang with my friends or chill with my girlfriend inside.
During a recent interview with People magazine, Pete Davidson just casually called Kim Kardashian his girlfriend for the first time on air. Since being linked together back in October when they were photographed holding hands on a roller coaster, many of you have been wondering if this would develop into anything further. While chatting with Kay Adams, host of People, the TV show, Pete really opened up on what it's like living in the spotlight. The comedian replied, "Well, I don't really have Instagram. I don't have Instagram or Twitter or any of that stuff, so most of my daily life is getting into cars and showing up to a set. Or if I'm off, I just either hang with my friends or chill with my girlfriend inside, so I don't do much. Dating a member of the Kardashian family is certainly going to bring some unwanted attention, even if he does try to keep a low profile. Although he did say that fans' interest in his life has had virtually zero impact on his day-to-day, later adding, once in a while someone will scream something at you, or it might be hard to get Dunkin' Donuts, but other than that it's pretty fine. It's not awful, it could be way worse. What definitely could be way worse is having your ex blasting your parenting style on social media and threatening to beat up your new boyfriend. Pete staying off social media right now is probably the best thing that he could ever do. I feel like Kanye would also greatly benefit from doing the same, but hey, that's not my place to say. Kim and Pete first started to make headlines back when she hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live. The pair shared an on-screen kiss during a sketch where they played Jasmine and Aladdin. Following this, the two of them have been spotted together on a number of occasions, including when they spent time in Palm Springs to celebrate Pete's birthday, and when the duo had a romantic dinner and a movie date in Staten Island, New York, which is Pete's hometown. Just last month, they also enjoyed a post-New Year's vacation in the Bahamas. As for the line Kanye wrote about Pete, an insider said, "Pete thinks it's totally hilarious. Not just that, he thinks the whole tabloid drama with him, West, and Kardashian is hilarious. He loves it." And at this point, after dating Ariana Grande and many other big celebrities, Pete is pretty used to being tabloid fodder. However, even he admits that being with Kim has put him on a whole new level of scrutiny. The insider adds, "It's funny to him that the press wants to know his every move all of a sudden. Now, if this was just some other celebrity dating Kim, someone other than a comedian, I bet the response to Kanye's line would have been much more different. Pete is used to being roasted, so he shakes off Kanye's insults with no issue. However, I think Kanye was hoping that it would hurt his ego a little bit more and make him go crazy, thus driving a wedge between him and Kim. Unfortunately for Kanye, this actually brought the pair closer together. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this though, and while you do that, I'm going to check out some of your comments from the video titled, "Adele Lookalike Sent to Replace Her Canceled Las Vegas Residency." Marina says, "Meanwhile, regular people have to show up, be a professional, and get the job done no matter what relationship problem or other problem you may have." Facts, Marina, facts. I wish I could just send in a Johnny clone. Nah, I love my job. Lawson Patterson says, "Seeing an Adele impersonator I'm sure is exactly like seeing the real thing." I sense some sarcasm in this comment. Gabriela Ortega says, "The audacity to have a replacement when people paid to see Adele specifically is crazy." Yeah, I don't think it was Adele that sent in the replacement. I think it was Vegas just wanting to have happier people. You know, it'd be pretty sad if you just see a bunch of Adele fans just walking aimlessly down the strip. Random Rumbling says, "I'm going to laugh if this lookalike does things as good or better and Adele gets forgotten. Would serve her right pulling out last second." I mean, it would, I guess, serve her right for pulling out last second, but I would love to see this, I almost said clone, this impersonator end up getting a good career out of this. Deja Voodoo says, "New job title on my bucket list, be a Joan Rivers impersonator. I didn't know I needed this, now I do." Hey, it just goes to show you that you can do anything. You can literally do anything. In Vegas, really. Even after deleting all of his posts about his estranged wife Kim K and daughter being on TikTok, Kanye is still demanding a public apology for the birthday fiasco. Just a few days after deleting a series of posts blasting Kim online, Kanye has now requested a public apology from her regarding an argument the pair had last month. On February 8th, Kanye had reported to his Instagram followers that he wasn't allowed to know the location of his daughter Chicago's birthday party. For those of you who missed it, he said that he wasn't able to get a hold of Kim or any of her nannies, but then said that he spoke briefly with Tristan Thompson, who told him that he would have to ask Khloe first. He then started going on a rant about how fathers have been kept away from the home and family unit for ages, and that even with all of his money, he has still found himself in that position. He goes on to say, "Y'all, I was just wishing my daughter a public happy birthday. I wasn't allowed to know where her party was. There's nothing legal that's saying that this is the kind of game that's being played. It's the kind of thing that really has affected my health for the longest, and I'm just not playing. I'm taking control of my narrative this year." adding, "I'm being the best father, the yay version of a father, and I'm not finna let this happen. Chicago, happy birthday, I love you, and I'm just putting this online because I need y'all's support." Kanye was apparently supposed to be in Miami where he was set to record for his upcoming album, but said that he had shifted his schedule so that he could go see his kids. And after Travis Scott had leaked the address to Kanye, he apparently had to get Kylie Jenner just to let him pass the security. He goes on to add, "I just saw everybody. It was, Chris and Corey and Kylie. Kylie let me in right when I got to the spot because the security, stopped me once again when I got there. It's just a matter of just having a conversation, open dialogue, and it was just, everyone just had a great time. I'm just really happy that I could be there for my children. I just want to thank everybody supporting this situation, and let me just calmly and legally take control of my narrative." However, here's where things got weird. Kanye was making all of this appear like he had been sabotaged, but really it was more of a miscommunication. Kim Kardashian was shocked that Kanye would say he was not told about the party because according to her, the pair had already discussed hosting 2 separate events for their daughter. Kanye was supposed to pick Chicago up at 4 p.m. so that the 2 of them could spend the rest of the day together, but instead Kanye began ranting online that he was being blocked from coming to his daughter's party. After that incident, the attacks just didn't stop. Kanye then said in a deleted Instagram caption, "I still need a public apology from the entire family for this. You give everything you got to someone, then they try to bully you, and then they say they won't apologize. It's up till they all take accountability, every woman there, including Corey." Then on top of that, he also shared a screenshot of a text message exchange with an unknown individual where he also requests an apology. My guess is Khloe Kardashian, because she didn't give him the address when Tristan asked. You know that for sure. In the message after they exchanged pleasantries, you can see at the bottom where Kanye says to this person, "I still need an apology for you not giving me the address to my daughter's party." But wait, there's more. He also tagged in this photo Kendall Jenner, Barack Obama, Kylie Jenner, his ex, Ellen DeGeneres, Kris Jenner, Kourtney Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, and lastly, the current Vice President Kamala Harris. But wait, no, there's more. He also tagged Larry Jackson, Hillary Clinton, Lorne Michaels, and Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. However, within minutes, both posts were taken down. Now, aside from Kim's response about how Kanye's constant attacks are worse for their kids than them being on TikTok, she hasn't really said much. Kanye, on the other hand, has been going non-stop with airing his grievances. But recently, Kim did do an interview with Vogue magazine and was asked specifically about her approach to co-parenting and supporting Ye in this role as father to her children. She said, "You can be so hurt or angry at your ex, but I think in front of the kids, it always has to be your dad's the best. Make sure you are your co-parent's biggest cheerleader, no matter what you're personally going through." Now, I don't know if he'll be getting an apology anytime soon, but either way, for their kids' sake, I hope these two figure this situation out. As always though, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this, and while you do that, I'm going to check out some of your comments from the video titled, "Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson make it official after this." Cassandra says, "I just love Kim and Pete. I've never seen her so happy. Kanye is so jealous." Definitely jealous, and I've also never seen them both really this happy. Simply Susie says, "Staying on brand with a bong behind him to the left." I didn't even notice that, but yeah, I guess that is pretty on brand. Mila510 says, "I bet you this is a PR stunt." Mila, I think that theory's been run out. I don't know if this is a PR stunt anymore. Yeah, I feel like the jig would have been up by now. That's all I'm saying. Miss Lynn Young says, "Run away, Pete. No man has survived a Kardashian. Run." There is some evidence to this. So you're not wrong, but hopefully he'll be fine. Osaka Ben says, "Are you Kim Kardashian?" No? Kanye West has deleted all of his Instagram posts regarding Kim Kardashian and their kids. Over the last couple days, Kanye has been accusing his estranged wife of kidnapping their daughter, putting North on TikTok against his will, and so much more. Perhaps the wildest part of all of this feud, though, was when Kanye exposed that Kim believed he put out a hit on her. This came after a video on social media showed Kanye spending time with 3 out of his 4 kids without someone watching over him. The rapper had taken Saint to Chicago and saw him to his and Jason Lee's event called The Future Brunch. Although just because Kanye deleted his Instagram post about the situation, don't think for a second that he won't do it again. His online attacks were happening in such quick succession that Kim was sort of forced to respond publicly so that people knew where she stood. Because without her speaking up, we would just be taking Kanye's word on what was happening behind the scenes. For example, him telling the world that they weren't giving him the address to Chicago's party, despite already making plans to see Chicago at 4 p.m. Finally addressing the situation regarding North's TikTok page, Kim said in an Instagram post, "Kanye Kanye's constant attacks on me in interviews and on social media is actually more hurtful than any TikTok North might create. As the parent who is the main provider and caregiver for our children, I am doing my best to protect our daughter while also allowing her to express her creativity in the medium that she wishes with adult supervision, because it brings her happiness. Divorce is difficult enough on our children, and Kanye's obsession with trying to control and manipulate our situation so negatively and publicly is only causing further pain for all. From the beginning, I have wanted nothing but a healthy and supportive co-parenting relationship because it is what is best for our children, and it saddens me that Kanye continues to make it impossible every step of the way. I wish to handle all matters regarding our children privately, and hopefully he can finally respond to the third attorney he has had in the last year to resolve any issues amicably. However, all this statement did was anger Kanye further as he hit back on Instagram and criticized her for claiming to be the main provider. Plus, he accused her of forcing him to undergo testing. Kanye responded to Kim's post and said, "What do you mean by main provider? America saw you try to kidnap my daughter on her birthday by not providing the address. You put security on me inside of the house to play with my son, then accuse me of stealing. I had to take a drug test after Chicago's party because you accused me of being on Tracy Romulus, stop manipulating Kim to be this way." And if you're like me and didn't know who Tracy Romulus is, she is the Chief Marketing Officer of KKW Brands and the founder of Industry Public Relations. So I'm guessing that Kanye believes that Tracy is somehow in Kim's ear and telling her that she needs to be against him. Someone who is openly against what Kanye is doing though is Azealia Banks. I'd share the whole Instagram story that she posted talking about the situation, but it would probably get us pulled from YouTube. Responding to a series of tweets defending Kanye, Banks went off and said, "Y'all are making way too many excuses for Kanye. Stop trying to help him and start trying to help the poor child that he keeps on trying to embarrass and gain publicity to garner sympathy." She also noted that this was the second time that Kanye had actually publicly bullied North West. First was when he was running for president and he brought up the conversation of Kim terminating her pregnancy, and then with these screenshots of his daughter on TikTok being posted to his Instagram page. I mean, I would be pretty embarrassed if at that age my parents were just posting screenshots of whatever I was doing online to their own personal pages and then just going on a rant about it. That'd be pretty embarrassing. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this though, and while you do that, I'm going to check out some of your comments from the video titles. Billie Eilish stops concert mid-show because of this. Tanya G says, "That's how you host a show. Even if she wasn't trying to roast Scott there, she was on top of her concert game, like so many other concert hosts have done. This absolutely should continue to go viral. I have heard possibly 2 songs by Billie, not one who I listen to regularly, but high props and respect to her." Yeah, even if you're not a fan of Billie Eilish, you gotta give her respect for stopping a show like that. Very important and great to see. Heidi V says, "I was at her Charlotte concert last night and she was making sure people had water and asked them to step back and relax. She's an amazing person." Again, definitely the way that you're supposed to handle a show as if you're a big artist like Billie Eilish is. Stace Rocks Red says, "Johnny's my favorite host. I love seeing him laugh at stuff and showing a bit of his personality." Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that compliment. If you want to see more of my personality, go check out my podcast, The Johnny Rogers Show. Tanuki Train says, "I'm not a Billie Eilish fan, but good thing she's taking care of her fans." Yes, very good thing to see that someone is taking care of their fans at least. That's not a shot at Travis. Random Realistic Tone says, "She wasn't shading Travis, she has been doing this before Travis Scott." Again, I'm not too sure why so many people decided to run with that angle. I think it was more so because they wanted to include his name in the article, but that's the way the news is now. Julia Fox just exposed a lot about Kanye West in her latest interview on the Call Her Daddy podcast hosted by Alex Cooper, another controversial guest following her interview with Jamie Lynn Spears. However, this podcast was much more eye-opening to say the least. In the interview, Julia opened up about everything from being a dominatrix to what it's like being with Kanye West. The Uncut Gems star also said that being a dominatrix was how she got her start into acting, because sometimes she would have only minutes to prepare when she was meeting with clients. She then dropped her recent interest when she said, "I'm weirdly into partner swapping," but then clarifying that she has never done it. She also said that her interest comes as a result of being jealous and possessive in past relationships and knowing that she didn't want to be like that in the future. This prompted Cooper to ask her if she and Kanye have put a label on it, to which Julia replied, "Well, I call him my boyfriend and he calls me his girlfriend. It just happened and it felt very organic." Then adding that he has one-of-a-kind energy, he wants me to be the best version of myself, gushing as she claimed to be Kanye's muse. Julia actually wrote a 217-word story about her first 2 dates with Kanye that included a trip to New York City. Now that would be one thing, but accompanied with this was also a series of photos where the pair were basically all over each other. In the post, she explained that the pair had met in Miami on New Year's Eve and it was an instant connection. In addition to calling Kanye her boyfriend in this interview, she was also asked about the online comparisons of her and Kim Kardashian. Julia said that it was unfortunate, but also took a bit of a jab at Kim and said, "If anything, I think the conversation should be how heavily Kim was influenced by Kanye." Now at the end of that quote, you'll see that the news source added that she was also talking about Balenciaga, which just reminds me of that theory that all of this has nothing to do with Kim and Kanye fighting and everything to do with selling Balenciaga because of the collab with Kanye. A woman named Michelle, who runs a Kardashian family analysis account, believes that this is much more than just a PR stunt. She believes that we are witnessing a tale as old as time, but with a new medium to express it in. The collab between Kanye and Kim isn't about any of their love interests, it's about selling the brand of Balenciaga and fusing the message with real life and getting it to the people through tabloids. She explains further, saying, "We may be scandalized that classic confused ex-West is finally rebounding with a rising star, but Kardashian is still positioned as his original muse, the first one to wear Balenciaga before we discovered it would be accessible. Even if their courtship is in earnest, Fox inherently represents West's next phase of messaging. Everyone can have their Cinderella story once Balenciaga by Yeezy hits Gap shelves. Kardashian ruled the Yeezy Season 6 campaign, and she continues to rule this one. I personally don't believe we have seen the end of Kanye's quiet collaboration." Now, that's purely a theory, but I always think of that whenever they decide to mention what they're wearing as they're talking about the incident. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this though, and while you do that, I'm going to check out some of your comments from the video titled, "YouTuber arrested by Florida police for fake 911 call." Unknown man says, "Social media make people look so stupid. I hope he stays in jail. He's just another idiotic influencer." Tell me how you really feel. Linda says, "These YouTubers are really getting to be too much." I mean, just these specific ones are getting to be too much, right? Not all of us. Noam Jordan says, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." Couldn't have said it better myself. Zell says, "There's enough Karens and Darrens that 911 has to deal with, and now this." Yeah, let's hope that no more prank YouTubers are calling 911 after this. Just pure stupidity. Justin says, "Can we please leave prank channels in 2015, 2016? Yes, please. Please, let's leave it back in that era. Never again."